guess rather. But yeah, if we haven't formally met, my name is Marissa. I hooked up my AirPods, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me even when I'm walk away from the computer back on the mat. I'm here with the lovely Abby today. We will be demoing this 60-minute burn class. If at any point you have issues with the audio or with the video, feel free to hop in that chat. I try to check the computer every so often just to see if there's any if anyone has typed anything or if there's any issues. But yeah, welcome, welcome. Let's get a little warm before the polar vortex this weekend. 60-minute burn class. It is no joke. This is hard, but we can do hard things, right? That being said, breath and integrity in your form is first and foremost. So whenever you want to grab water, whenever you want to towel off and catch a breath, empower yourself to do so. This isn't about killing yourself until you feel defeated and discouraged. This is mindful movement. We don't have to work out, we get to work out, right? So this should be like an empowering, exciting type of place to be. And we are here for the next 60 minutes. So yogis, let's just start right away. If you do want to follow along in the playlist, which I will spam one more time, I will count us down before I start it on my end. And if you do follow on Spotify, make sure it is not on shuffle as well. Yogis, let's start in extended child's pose. Bring your big toes to touch towards the back of your mat. Open up your knees any amount that it feels good for your hips today, and then reach your arms out long in front of you and maybe reach them a few more inches out forward to make it a little more of a stretch here. So this active posture is often suggested because we help focus on our breath and our intention by closing our gaze, closing our eyes, or limiting our gaze. I need to slow it all down, y'all. Let's unite our breath here together as a community. Yogis, exhale everything out of your lungs. Take a full inhale, fill up with air. And then a big exhale, just let it go. These open mouth exhales are your burn breath. And this type of breath is what will be guiding you through practice today. Open mouth exhales help release the heat that we build in your body. If you do start to feel overheated, work on keeping that head above your heart. And again, take breaks and then just rejoin up whenever you feel ready. Yogis, if you'd like to follow along in the playlist, I will start it on my end in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. And wherever you're at, slowly shift forward, find a neutral tabletop position. So shoulders on top of wrists, hips on top of knees. Some slow organic movement here, just starting to wake up the body in this form. Then yogi, slowly find some stillness here. Inhale for cow pose, expand through the front line of your body, raise your gaze. Exhale, cat pose, tuck your tailbone, arch your back. Beautiful. Inhale, cow pose, fill up with air, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Exhale, cat pose, tuck your tailbone, gaze between your knees. Gorgeous. One more just like that. Inhale, cow pose, fill up with air. Exhales for cat pose, push that mat away, carve it out. Yogis, slowly come back to that neutral tabletop position. With your inhale, reach your right arm high, and exhale, thread the needle here. So sweep your hand through with control, come on down to that opposite ear or shoulder, and take a moment to really feel this stretch, mindful movement here. Press your back palm into the ground, spiral your shoulder open. Always the option for a half bind here if you'd like, and then take a couple full breaths. Yogis, if you did find any sort of bind, gently bring that palm back down to the ground. Inhale, reach your right arm high, stretch it up. Exhale, come back to neutral tabletop. Inhale, stretch your left arm high. Exhale, thread the needle on this side. With control, come on down to your opposite side. Again, if a half bind feels good for your other shoulder, you can bring your forearm towards your low back, but this is an active posture, so spiral your shoulder open towards the ceiling. Take a couple full breaths here. Yogis, if you did take any sort of bind, gently place your palm back down to the ground. Inhale, sweep your left arm high. Exhale, come back down to neutral tabletop. Inhale, tuck your toes under. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send your hips high. Yogis, start to walk out your dog here, so pedaling your feet any amount, getting some deep bends maybe in those knees. Start to stretch out the back line of your body, so feel your low back, your calves, and especially your hamstrings stretch out here. Down dogs invite a little bit of stillness into your body. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide that foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent moon lunge, come on down to your back knee, use your core to rise up. Hang out here for a few breaths. Option to reach your hands overhead or interlace them on the top of that thigh, but bump your hips forward. Take a couple breaths. Yogis, one more inhale here. Exhale, seated half splits. Bump your seat back towards that back heel. If you want to flow it a couple times, feel free to do so. Yogis, slowly with control, walk forward, find that low lunge, and then toe heel your toe out to the corner or edge of your mat. We'll take a runner's lunge right away. So a deep hip opener here. You can invite in any sort of movement or come on down to your forearms. Take a couple full breaths here. Yogis, if you did come on down to your forearms, with an inhale, push back up to your palms. With your exhale, tuck your back toes, re-engage that back leg off the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog, sweep your right leg high. Exhale, downward facing dog, come back to center. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, step or guide your foot between your hands. Inhale, crescent moon lunge, use your core as you rise up. Shoulders are out of your ears, down your back. Yogis, hands can be reaching overhead or on top of your thigh. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Yogis, one more inhale to prepare. Exhale, seated half splits. Bump your seat back towards your feet. If you want to flow it a couple times, feel free to do so. You're shifting the focus into that extended leg. Yogi, slowly with control, walk forward and find your low lunge, and then toe heel that foot out to the edge or corner, taking a nice runner's lunge stretch here. Option for movement, stillness, or coming on down to those forearms. In whatever shape your body has made, take a couple breaths. Yogis, if you did come on down to your forearms, using an inhale, push back up to your palms. Exhale, tuck your back toes, re-engage that leg off the mat. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg sweeps high. Exhale, downward facing dog, come back to center. Yogis, on your next inhale, look forward. Exhale, ragdoll pose, step or walk behind your wrist. Let that torso hang heavy, let your head hang heavy. Release tension in your neck and shoulders. Ragdolls, if you found any sort of arm variation here, swap out your grip. Equal attention to the other side of your body, same energy. Ragdolls, slowly start to invite a little bit of stillness in. Release your palms down towards the ground. Toe heel your feet together. Bend your knees deeply and come on down to sit on your seat on your mat. Yogis, I always like to start with a little bit of belly up core to build that heat, but also help with our balance and twisting later on in class. We're going to start with just some belly up core. So on your backs, on your mats, stamp your feet on the ground, interlace your fingers behind your head. Basic crunches to start. We'll add on as we go. 3 sets of core. You'll have little breaks in between. Basic crunches look like this. It'll be a lift and lower, and you exhale as you lift. So yogis, find a cadence that works for you. It does not need to be to the beat of the music. Sometimes it does help, but unclench your jaw here. You're exhaling as you lift. Upper abs are lifting you off the mat with control. Elbows are wide out of your vision. Be kind to your neck. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. You'll pulse it up in 2. And 1, little pulses up. It's small and controlled. Using your upper abs, shoulder blades are lifting off the mat. You got it. Just there for 4. Just there for 3. You'll hold it high. In 2, just a hold. In 1, yogis, keep it lifted. For 4, for 3, legs up the wall. In 2, for cherry pickers. In 1, yogis, lower down, legs up the wall. Flex or point your feet, but commit to 1. Whenever you're ready, it's side to side. So yogis, reach towards the pinky toes of your feet here. Be real intentional with your movement. It's really easy to use that momentum here. Same energy and attention to each side. Beautiful focus. Great commitment. Y'all got it, Thursday. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. We'll make them scissor legs. In 2, it's short, I promise. In 1, continue those reaches, scissor legs here. Swapping side to side. Pace yourself or push yourself. You're almost done here. You've got 4. You've got 3. Nice long body stretch. In 2. And 1, yogis, lower all the way down. Take a nice long body stretch. First set is done. And you made it. There's always room for modifications or customizations of these workouts. It is not a lesser movement. I want to stretch that. Give yourself permission to change it up. Everyone's body looks different. Everyone's workout can look different as well. Yogis, slowly, whenever you're ready, grab behind your knees, rock and roll the length of your spine, and meet me in a seated position, a boat pose. Feet will start on the ground because we'll add a little twist here. But boat pose Navasana, you're shifted back until you feel your core engaged. Pretend there's like a string pulling your heart and shoulders are out of your ears, down your back. We want a long spine. Bring your hands to heart center. It'll look like this. You'll take it side to center and side to center. Little marching movement with your legs, but you always have the options to do just the arms or just the legs. Elbow towards your knee. Exhaling as you twist. You got it. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll pulse it right. In 2. And 1. Pulse it right. Just for 4. Just for 3. Opposite side. In 2. And 1. Pulse the other side. You've got 4. You've got 3. Find your boat pose. In 2. Come back to center. And 1, yogis, boat pose here. You might find that there's more weight in your seat rather than your feet as you rock back. This is our high boat. Your hands can be behind your knees. Your feet can be on the ground. Your hands can be at your side, but I want you to keep your heart lifted. We'll flow high boat to low boat 2 times. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Down to low boat. In 2 with control. And 1, lower down. You've got 4. You've got 3. Back to high boat. In 2, lead with your heart. And 1, lift it back up. Just 4. Just 3. Down to low boat. In 2. And 1. Last time here. Just for 4. Just for 3. Nice long body stretch. In 2. And 1. Release. Yogis, take a nice long body stretch. Maybe some full inhales and exhales to stretch out your core. Yogis, we'll work on a little bit of twisting movement and a little bit of lower ab action, ending with the flutter kicks, but bicycle twists are next. Interlace those fingers behind your head, 90-degree angle with your knees. 3-part movement again, bicycle twist. You'll take it side to center and side to center. Yogis, you can extend your leg as low as you would like. You can make this as slow, as fast as you'd like, but remember, it's not about how fast we're going, it's about where we're going. So find that integrity in your form. Just here for 4, just here for 3, you'll pulse it right into it, short, I promise. In 1, pulse to the right. You've got 4, you've got 3, other side, in 2, and 1, pulse it left. You're here for 4, you're here for 3, scissor legs, in 2, and 1, keep with that twist. You're here for 8, you're here for 7, just for 6. Remember to breathe. No holding your breath. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Little flutter kicks. In 2, your head can come down. In 1, flutter kick here. For 4. For 3. Nice long body stretch in 2. And 1. Release. Whew. Beautiful job, everyone. Core series is done. Grab water, towel off, take a moment to catch your breath, slow that heart rate down, and then we're working on a little bit of arm stuff to give our core a break. Know that you can definitely do these workouts without weights. That is a valid workout. You can always swap your weights or ditch your weights at any time, especially when we're working on different muscle groups. We're gonna get into our biceps and shoulders, so you can come to stand or you can be on your knees. I like to stay on my knees, but it's totally your call. This is your practice, right? Yogis, whenever you're ready, meet me in a bicep curl stance. We're gonna start with one hand and then do the other hand, but we're still gonna activate the opposite hand that we're not using by holding our weight out. I like to start lifting my left hand because my right hand is stronger. Feel free to switch it up if you'd like. Basic bicep curls, palms will face up, light, soft wrists. Is this the right song? Yes, it is. Yogis, a lift and lower, lift and lower. Little Donna Summer remix. Maybe just shows how old I am. But you're exhaling as you lift here. We'll switch it up as we go, but just start with this stable movement. Using muscle, not momentum. Let your breath guide you. We work towards breath to movement here. So exhale on the exertion. Beautiful, yogis. You got it, Thursday. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. You'll pulse it halfway in 2. And 1, just little pulses here. Just 4. Just 3, you'll pulse it out in 2. And 1, pulse it out. Just 4. Just 3, hammer curl, 2 with a press up, and 1, yogis, sorry about that. Hammer curl here, and then punch it up, a little press up, a chest press. What am I trying to say? I've had so much coffee today, and you can probably tell I'm talking incredibly fast. But yogis, make this be something that works for you. You might have incredibly heavy weights, want to slow it down half time. You might not have any weights at all, want to focus on the form and movement. That's totally fine. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll pulse it halfway in 2. And 1, just little pulses here. For 4. For 3, you'll pulse it out in 2. And 1, pulse it out. You've got 4. You've got 3. Wide arm bicep curl in 2. And 1, yogis, 45-degree angle. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Find the range of motion that works for you here. We'll break it up later. But 45-degree angle, wide arm bicep curl. Burning it out. You should be feeling this. Find your breath. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll just do the upper half in 2. And a 1. So this is as low as you go. It's a lift and lower. A lift and lower. Bring that weight or hand towards your shoulder slightly. You've got 4. You've got 3. We'll do the lower half in 2. And 1. So this is the highest you'll go with. Down and lift. Down and lift. Again, feel free to adjust your stance, adjust your hands here. Just 4. Just 3, you'll pulse it halfway in 2. And 1, little pulses here. Just 4. Just 3, you'll pulse it out in 2. And 1, little pulses out. You've got 4. You've got 3. We have the opposite side in 2. And 1, beautiful job, yogi. Shake it out. Left palm will be holding that weight if it feels right. Basic bicep curls with your other hand, right hand maybe. Here we go. It's a lift and lower, lift and lower. So straight, strong wrists here, no curling at the wrist. Release the death grip on the weights. You're exhaling as you lift. That's when the muscle is exerting and shortening to lift the weight. For 4. For 3, you'll pulse it halfway in 2. And 1, little pulses halfway. 4. 3, pulse it out in 2 with control. And 1, little pulses out. Just 4. Just 3, hammer curls. 2, with that press up. And 1, palms face in. It's lower, lift, punch it up, and in. That might not even be a press, more like a punch, I guess. Stacking your joints will help protect your joints. Less gravity pulling. Find your form, find your breath. You got it. Just 4. Just 3, you'll pulse it halfway in 2. And 1, little pulses in your hammer curls. 4. 3, you'll pulse it out in 2. And 1, pulse it out. For 4. For 3, wide arm bicep curls in 2. And 1, 45-degree angle. A lift, a lower, lift, and lower. So muscle, not momentum, especially as you lower this weight. You are always in control of the weight that you hold. You are almost done. You know where you're headed. Find your breath. You got this. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. Just the top half. In 2 and 1. So this is as low as you'll go. A lift and lower. Lift and lower. Envision your bicep working here. You're here for 4. Just here for 3. Lower half. In 2 and 1. So meet me here. It'll be down and lift. Down and lift with control. You can make it as small controlled as you'd like. You've got 4. You've got 3. You'll pulse it halfway. In 2 and 1. Yogis, pulse it halfway. Just 4. Just 3. You'll pulse it out. In 2 and 1. Little pulses out. Just 4. Just 3. In 2. Shake it out. In 1. Beautiful job, yogis. Shake it out. Slowly start to make your way to standing. Widen your feet slightly, maybe hip width distance apart. We're going to get into the lower half of our body with some single squats. It's a lower and lift, a lower and lift. So hopefully the beat for you is working. This is probably offbeat. But again, squats here, it's really easy to dump most of the weight in our quads. To focus on your glutes, press your hips just slightly forward. That'll help protect your low back. Squeeze your glutes as you lift. Weight should be in your heels. Keep that chest lifted. Just 4. Just 3. You'll pulse it low. In 2 and 1. Little pulses low. For 4. For 3. Lift your right heel. 2. Continue to pulse. And 1. Right heel lift. You've got 4. You've got 3. We'll swap sides. In 2 and 1. Opposite side. Just 4. Just 3. Back to single squats. In 2. You'll lower first. And 1. Let's add a hamstring curl. It's down and kick and down and kick. So it's not just a kick. This is active, right? This is mindful movement. Heels towards your glute. Your hamstring is shortening to help lift. Beautiful. Yes, you can always slow down the rock. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. You'll pulse it low. In 2 and 1. Little pulses low. It's low and controlled. Yogis, engage your core to protect your low back. Recommit to that weight in your heels. Rock your seat back. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Hold it low. In 2, knees will go in and out. In 1, hold it low. It's in and out. Maybe Charlie Browning it. This will feel like burning in your quads maybe. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Come to stand and shake it out. In 2 and 1. Woo. Beautiful job, yogis. All right, moving into a little bit of a lunge series. Still want to work our glutes a little bit. We'll get into some balancing later. Meet me with your right foot forward, left foot back. Lunges, your feet are in 2 separate lanes, hip width distance apart. Single lunges. Are you ready? Here we go. It's a lower and a lift and a lower and a lift. It's purposely a slower-ish movement. So when you lift, I want you to squeeze your glute. I want you to retract your knee. Bring that hamstring in the back of the knee towards the ceiling as you lift. You can always widen your stance or lengthen your stance. Give yourself permission to change it up. For 4, you're here for 3. You'll pulse it low. In 2 and 1. Little pulses here. You've got 4. You've got 3. Other side. In 2. Right leg back. In 1. Yogis, come to stand. Shake it out. Bring that left leg front. Right leg back. Hip width distance apart or wider. But it's down and lift and a down and lift. So same effort and attention on this side. This should feel like a nice little stretch in that hip flexor area. Your back heel is lifted on top of your toes. Exhale as you lift. Shoulders are on top of your hips, no hinging forward. Beautiful job. Just 4. Just 3. Pulse it low. In 2 and 1. Pulse it low. It's pulse. And pulse as slow and controlled as you'd like. Recommit to that straight, strong back. Recommit to your breath. Find your breath. You got it. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll find a sumo squat. In 2, you can pivot open. And 1, yogi sumo squat pivot. It'll be a lower and a lift and a lower and a lift. You can always slow it down, make it half time, but press your knees to the pinky toes of your feet. Again, rather than hinging forward, straight strong back here. Engage your core to protect that back. You got it. So good, so strong. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll pulse it low. In 2, it's the last time to pulse. And 1, little pulses low. You've got 8. You've got 7. Yes, it's a slow count. You're here for 6. Little lower, half inch. And 5. Your quads are burning, I know. Just for 4. Just for 3. Come to shake it out. In 2. And 1. Beautiful job, yogis. Shake it out. Get some blood flow circulation in your legs. We're working on a little bit of balance here, something I've been teaching the last couple weeks. It's that dancer circle with that Shiva squat and that kick forward and back. Start to stand on your left leg first. Point that right foot out in front of you. Hands can be at your heart or by the side. But you'll go around for 2 and a down and lift. Bring it up for 2 and then back for 2. It's down and lift. Yogis, your Shiva squat, knees behind one another. When you're balancing here, give yourself permission to have a slight bend in that knee anyway as you stand. Focus on your balance by using your core and finding your breath. Maybe pick some focal point to focus on. Find your gaze. Y'all got it. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll pulse our Shiva squat in 2. And 1, little pulses here. It's pulse and pulse. Our quads should be warmed up. Ground down through the 4 corners of that standing leg. You've got 4. You've got 3. That kick forward and back. In 2, stand on the same leg. In 1, come to stand straight up. You'll bring it forward and hinge it back. Kick it forward and hinge it back. So yogis, your core is working just as much as your leg is to help stabilize your body here. Rather than swaying favor, tilting left, try to equalize your stance out. Squeeze your glute to lift that heel as you kick back. Almost halfway done. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Hold it forward. In 2, we'll pulse it up. In 1, yogis, bring it forward just for 4. Just for 3, to the back. In 2, you'll pulse it up and back. In 1, to the back. You've got 4. You've got 3, other side. In 2, so come to stand. And 1, yogi, stand on that right leg. Give yourself a minute. You have a minute, a moment. Maybe not a full minute. Left leg points out in front of you. Find your balance and your breath. You'll bring it around and down and lift. It is your decision. This is your class on how low you want to go, how fast you want to go, how slow you want to go. Listen to the story that your body is telling you today. Yogis, for 8. You're there for 7, just for 6, find your form, and 5. You're there for 4, you're there for 3, pulse that Shiva squat in 2, and 1, Shiva squat pulses. It's slow and controlled, but it's low and controlled. Engage your core, protect that hinging forward. Just 4, just 3, kick it forward and back in 2, so come to stand. In 1, straighten it out, you'll kick it forward and kick it back, hinge it forward, sweep it back. Beautiful job, yogis. Maybe point or flex your foot one way. Again, this is a closed off hip posture here, so keep that left hip down. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll hold it out in front. In 2, you'll pulse it up. In 1, keep it out forward. Just 4. Just 3, hold it back. In 2, you'll pulse it up and back. In 1, last thing you have. Just 4. Just 3, shake it out. In 2. And 1, beautiful job, yogis. Shake it out. When we work on balance, stuff like that, it's also really good for our ankles as well. We kind of forget about those joints, but you're always like micro adjusting that balance, right? Balance is kind of just an illusion. We're always micro adjusting in our feet. Yogis, we're moving on to a little bit of cardio stuff. Same cardio workout similar to what we've been doing, going in one direction and then in the other. It's about a 4-minute song, so push yourself, but pace yourself, right? If it feels good for you today, meet me in just a little jump rope on your mat, side to side. Any of these movements can be done in a step touch or a side-to-side movement. You can always slow it down behind your ankles and knees. My only rule is that you keep moving in some fashion and keep your head above your heart. You can always grab water, towel off whenever you'd like. Beautiful. Y'all got this. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You have jumping jacks into long edge of the mat. And 1, pivot to the long edge of your mat. It's up and up. Yogis, you can step touch here for added intensity. Maybe cross your feet in the middle. But your arms are engaged. Your whole body is working here. Open mouth exhales help release the heat that we build. Beautiful. Y'all got it. You're there for 4. You're there for 3 to the back. In 2 with butt kickers. And 1, face the back. You'll bring it up, up, up. Option to add your arms. Option to take the bounce out of it. But to feel your hamstrings here, rock your weight just slightly forward. Kind of like you're running. Heels towards your glutes. Find your breath. You're there for 4. You're there for 3, long edge of the mat. In 2, it's a jump, jump, squat. In 1, long edge of the mat, it's jump, jump, squat. Jump, jump, squat. Option to take the bounce out of it. Option to make it calf raises rather than the jump. Be kind to yourself, be kind to your body. We can do hard things. Just find your breath. It's your strongest tool. I promise you. You're there for 4. Just there for 3. High knees to the front. In 2, it's short, I promise. And 1, high knees to the front. You've got 8. You've got 7, halfway done. And 6. Just 5. Option to take the bounce out of it. 4. And 3, jumping jacks into long edge of the mat. And 1, bring it out and out. Yogis, land lightly on your toes, softly on your feet. You're just working those ankles. Beautiful job. Just 4. Just 3, back of the mat. Into hamstring curls or butt kickers. In 1, yogis, face the back of your mat. Little butt kickers here. Option to take the bounce out of it, hamstring curls. Option to add your arms. Option to do one side at a time, maybe focus on that balance. You're almost done. We got it Thursday. Just 4. Just 3, long edge of the mat. In 2, it's a jack punch. And 1, yogis, a jack jab. It's jack and jab, jack and jab. Definitely playing favorites to the right side. Sorry, self-pause. Option to do just jumping jacks. Option to find a variation that works for you. Find your breath. You're almost done here. You've got 8. You've got 7. And 6. Yes, you can. And 5. Just 4. You're here for 3. You're here for 2. High knees to the front. In 1. I miscounted. I'm sorry. You're here for 4. Just here for 3. In 2. Jump your rope. In 1. Yogi, slow it down. Keep it moving in some fashion. Starting to lower that heart rate. We'll get into some active recovery. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Grab water, towel off in 2. And 1. You're done. Woo, good job. Coffee promises to make you more alert. I swear it just makes me so jittery that it's actually like worse. But I'm one of those people that drinks coffee like throughout the entire day. So maybe I should rethink that lifestyle choice. All right. Beautiful job, yogis. Cardio, not easy. Not my favorite thing to do. Let me know what you think or if you have some workouts that you have suggestions for. We're working on some active recovery here. So option for weights or no weights, but we're gonna get into some lunges here. Lunging side to side to lengthen your legs. Wide stance here, maybe like that sumo squat. We'll alternate each side. So you'll bring it down and lift and down and lift. Option for down for 2 and lift for 2. You can always make it that half cadence, especially maybe if you're holding a set of weights. You want to slow it to work on your form, but press into your heel as you rise up. You're pressing into that knife's edge. Keep that knee stacked on top of your ankle. Squeeze your glutes to help you lift. Keep a strong straight back. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll pulse it right and low in 2. And 1, pulse it low to the right. Little pulses here. Yogi, send your butt back. Engage your core to protect your back. It's just like you're going to sit in a chair. Maybe, maybe not. Who sits in a chair like this, Marissa? Just 4. Just 3. You have the other side in 2 little pulses. And 1, left little pulses here. Little lateral lunges. Again, same energy and attention as the other side. Press into the knife's edge of your foot. Weight is in your heels. For 4, for 3, back to the beginning. In 2, second set, and 1, last set. Here we go. It's down for 2, and a lift for 2, yes, or a lower and lift, a lower and lift. Option to make a cadence that works for you. Sometimes if you're holding heavy weights, that slower steadiness is helping stretch out your, what am I trying to say? Stretch out your leg. This should feel really good in your inner thigh, in your inner hip flexors. Just engage your core to protect that low back as you lengthen forward. For 4, for 3, you'll pulse to the right, into, and 1, pulse it low to the right. Little pulses. As slow and controlled as you would like. Send your heart slightly forward. Send your tailbone and butt towards the back of the room. Just 4. Just 3. Pulse the other side. Into, and 1. Swap sides pulse. Slow and controlled. As small as you would like. Make it smaller. Make it more intentional. Find your breath. We're slowing that heart rate down. Just 4. Just 3. Shake it out. Into, and 1. Beautiful job, yogis. Shake it out. Get some blood flow in your ankles, in your hips. Whew. All right, we are moving on. We only have a few more songs here. We're working into our back and triceps next. So meet me in whatever weights you would use for your triceps. Always the option for no weights at all. Maybe a lighter set of weights. And know that you can always do arm workouts really one side at a time if it feels best. Working our triceps first, we'll have a narrow stance with our elbows for overhead tricep extensions. Just singles. Here we go. It's a lower and lift, a lower and lift. And you exhale as you lift. If this does not feel good for your shoulders, you can work your triceps here in kickbacks. If that doesn't feel good for your shoulders, maybe tricep dips on a chair or something like a plank. What am I trying to say? Like those step-up ladders. You can always do tricep dips there. But find your breath. Recommit to that narrow stance with your elbows. Exhaling as you lift, that's when your tricep shortens. You've got 4. You've got 3. We have a shoulder press in 2. And 1, yogis, meet me here. It's lift and lower, lift and lower. We'll add on as we go to make it a compound movement, but set it up strong first. Option for one side at a time. Stack those wrists on top of those elbows. Exhale as you lift. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Hold it low. In 2, we'll bring it in. In 1, yogis, hold it low. It's in and open. Forearms come together. Visualize your shoulder blades wrapping around your back strongly. Exhale as you close. You can always do one arm at a time. You can ditch or swap your weights at any time. You got this. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We have scarecrows in 2. And 1, yogis, meet me here. You'll take it forward and up, down and up. We'll just start here for the upper half. We'll add on as we go. Option one side at a time. Beautiful job. Y'all got it. Little robots here. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll meet me here in 2. And 1, yogis, meet me here. You'll bring it down and lift. Down and lift. So lift like your little wings. These are your little wings. Again, 90-degree angle with your shoulders. Option 1 arm at a time. You probably have one arm or shoulder that's stronger. That's okay. We still need the same energy and attention. Just 4. Just 3, upright row, into, and 1, yogis, meet me here. It's a lift and lower, lift and lower. We're getting into our back after this, so we'll hinge slightly forward. You can widen your stance or come on down to your knees if it feels right, but reverse flies are where you're headed. You're here for 4. You're here for 3, reverse flies, into, and 1, yogis, palms face in, hinge forward, engage your core, protect your back. This is for your back. It'll be a lift and lower, a lift and lower. Again, option one side at a time. You can come on down to your knee into your lunge to support and focus on that upper body strength. This is your wingspan here for your wings. Control, lifting and lowering. Your back is strong. It's got this. You're here for 4. You're here for 3, narrow row. In 2 with a tricep kickback. In 1, it's the same stance. It's a lift, bring it back, in, and down. So palms still face in. Compound movement, throwing in that tricep work here. Always the option one side at a time. Elbows lift higher than your hips when you bring those triceps back. You've got 4. You've got 3. Post those triceps up in 2. And 1, little pulses back. For 4. For 3, pulse it in 2, it's short, I promise. In 1, pulse it in. You've got 4. You've got 3, shake it out. In 2. And 1. Whew. You are done. All right, beautiful job, yogis. We are not using our weights for the rest of class. You can get rid of them or take them out of your space, nothing that you can trip on. We're headed into a tabletop series. Yogis working our obliques a little bit. Meet me in a tabletop, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Extend your right leg, bring your right knee, right elbow. Extend it back, and then right knee, left elbow. Use your core to help twist through the midline of the body. Exhale as you lift. Yogis, be kind to your wrists. You can always reformat the weight distribution in the top half of your body. Gaze is nice. It's just slightly in front of you to be kind to your neck. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll pulse that leg up in 2. And 1. Pulse that leg up. It's pulse and pulse. Slow and controlled. Squeeze your glute. Bump your right hip down in space. You've got 4. You've got 3. Bend your knee. In 2, we'll kick that heel up. In 1, bend at your knee. Little pulses here still. Heel towards your... What is going on with this music today, y'all? Well, it's not fun to work out without music, I can tell you that. Yogis, hopefully your music is still playing. We're just here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll get to the other side. In 2. And 1, yogi, slowly start to make way. Extend that left leg long. Squeeze that glute. Just bring that left knee, left elbow. Extend it back. And then left knee, right elbow. Twist through the midline of your body here. I swear to God, if it is my mom on my Spotify account, which does happen, y'all, find something that works for you. Push yourself, pace yourself. Engage your core, protect your low back here. Yogis, you're just here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll pulse that leg up and back in 2. And 1, yogis, extend that leg up and back. Squeeze your glute here. Pointer flex your foot. Commit to 1. Recommit to that equal weight distribution in your palms. Your glutes and back are strong. You got this. You're here for 4. Just here for 3. You'll bend at your knee. In 2, you'll bring that heel up. In 1, bend at your knee. And then little pulses, kicking that heel towards that ceiling. As slow and controlled as you would like. Beautiful. Y'all got it. Or not. Slow and controlled. Yogis, you are just there for 4. You're just there for 3. Shake it out in 2. And 1, beautiful job. Take a nice child's pose. Take a moment. Catch your breath. All right, yogis, we are moving into a little bit of side plank work. Meet me on your right side first. You'll support yourself on your right forearm. Know that in side plank, you have a lot of options. You can support yourself on your knee. You can stack your ankles, or you can stagger your ankles, but stack your shoulder on top of your elbows. We'll start with just little hip dips here, bringing your hip up and down, lift and lower. So you're bumping your hips towards the ceiling, stacking those hips on top of one another. You're exhaling as you lift because we're working the lower abs just as much as those upper abs. Find your breath here. Beautiful. We're adding on as we go. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. You'll pulse it up in 2. And 1, just little pulses up. It's pulse and pulse. As slow and controlled as you'd like. Hands can be lifted at your hips. You got this. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Bring that left arm high into, hold your hips high. And 1, it's just a hold. You've got 4. You've got 3. Oblique twist into, and 1. Add it on from here. You'll bring it down for 2 and lift for 2. Yogis, you're twisting through the midline of your body. Support yourself. Find your breath. Feel that actual twist. Feel your core start to bring you back to center. Yes. Beautiful. You're almost done on this side. Right side so strong. You got this. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. We have the other side in 2 and 1. Yogi, slowly shake it out. Come to the other side. Know that you can always double up on your mat if this is hurting your forearms or your elbows. Opposite sides. It's a lift and lower. A lift and lower. So little hip dips here in your side plank. Bump that right hip towards the ceiling. Press into the nice edge of that grounded foot. Use your palm face down into the mat to help press up. Your core is engaged. Zip your belly button towards your spine. As small and controlled as you would like. You got this. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Just little pulses up into, and 1. Just pulse it up. It's pulse. And pulse, yogis, actually feel this in your lower abs. Small and controlled. Find your breath work. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Hold it high. In 2, it's just a hold. And 1, yogis, keep it lifted. Extend that right arm high. Remember to breathe. We're adding on as we go with those oblique twists. Beautiful job. You got it. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. We'll add those oblique twists in 2 and 1, yogis. It's down for 2 and a lift for 2. You're exhaling as you come through the midline of your body. Make this be something that works for yourself. Everyone's body looks different. This will look different here. You're almost done. You've got 4. You've got 3. Come on down to your mat. In 2 and 1. Thanks for indulging me. Music not working is like one of the hardest things because it's just so integral for this practice. All right, we're moving into a little bit of leg stuff to give our shoulders a break. Meet me in some leg lift position. We'll start on our left side first. So again, support yourself on that right forearm. Stack your hips, so bump your hips forward. Point or flex your feet, single leg lift. Here we go. It's a lift and a lower, a lift and a lower. You exhale as you lift. Commit to one of those pointing or flexing. Maybe you point up and flex down, point up and flex down. We'll add on as we go. Y'all got this. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Pulse it up into, and 1. Little pulses high. Just 4. Just 3. Circle it forward. Into little circles forward. And 1. Circle it forward. They're small and controlled. Something that you can do again for the other side to balance out your body. You got it. You're here for 4. Just here for 3. Circle it back. Into, so opposite direction. And 1. Circles to the back, same sizes if it feels right. You should be feeling your outer glutes, your outer leg burning. But you got it. Your legs are so strong. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Yogis, bring that knee or foot in front. Into. And 1, yogis, you can bring your knee in front. You can plant your foot. We're going to work on that lower leg as a lift and a lower, a lift and a lower. So we're actually working our grounded leg here. You're lifting it towards the ceiling with control. Again, pointing or flexing your foot. You should feel your inner thighs start to work. If you're not feeling it, maybe lift that toe just a little higher towards the sky. You've got 4. You've got 3. We'll pulse it up into, and 1. Little pulses up just for 4. Just for 3. Hold it high into. And 1, yogis, just keep it lifted. Reach towards your toes. Maybe it's shaking. Maybe that's good. Yogis, you're just here for 4. You're here for 3. We have the other side into. And 1. Woo. All right. Moving on to the other side. It's the exact same sequence. Stack your hips though. Point or flex that foot. Stack your shoulders on top of your elbow. Single leg lifts. Here we go. Lift and lower, lift and lower. And you exhale as you lift. Yogis, again, stacking your hips on top of one another, maybe bumping your hips forward slightly. Exhaling as you lift that leg towards the sky. You've got 8. You've got 7. Just here for 6 and 5. In 4, we'll pulse it up. In 3, in 2, little pulses high. And 1, pulse it here. For 4, for 3, circle it forward. In 2, and 1, yogis, little circles forward, maybe the same, hopefully the same size, just to balance out your bodies as the other side. Point or flex your foot here for 8, 7, you're here for 6, and 5. Remember to breathe. Just for 4, just for 3, you'll circle it back into, so reverse direction, and 1 circles to the back. They're small and controlled, maybe the same circle size. Point or flex your foot. Your outer thigh should be burning. Just 4. Just 3. Plant your foot in front, into, or your knee. And 1, yogis, working that bottom leg now. Knee comes in front or planting your foot, but lifting and lowering that leg for the inner thigh. Here we go. It's a lift and lower, lift and lower. And you exhale as you lift, so those toes goes towards the ceiling, maybe lifting that heel towards the sky. Working that grounded leg first now, for a second, I guess. You've got 8. You've got 7. Lift those toes high. Just 6. And 5. Yes, you can. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You'll pulse it up into. And 1, little pulses high. For 4. For 3. Hold it high. Into, we'll add that reach. And 1, yogis, keep it lifted. Add that reach. Reach towards your toes. Lift it a little higher. Give me ½ inch. You're almost done. This is a home stretch. You got it. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. In 2, you'll be done. And 1, beautiful job, yogis. Lower all the way down. Get some blood flow in your legs. And we have 1 last workout. It's just a couple minutes, and then we'll get into some stretching, and it is for your back. Meet me on your stomach. We're going to do some reverse crunches to start, and then some Supermans and swimmers. Reverse crunches are back crunches. Interlace your fingers behind your head. Elbows are wide out of your vision. Whenever you're ready, it'll look like this. It'll be a lift and lower, a lift and a lower. Always the option to ground your hands, option to reach them out long in front of you, very similar to that swimmer movement we'll be getting into, but you should feel this in your back. So you're peeling your heart off the mat by squeezing those lower back muscles. Beautiful, you got it. You're there for 4. Just 3, make them Supermans. In 2. And 1, yogi, Supermans, reach your hands out long in front of you. As you lift, squeeze those elbows behind your back, or towards behind your back. Option to lift your legs as well as you go. Find something that works for you with the cadence. This is our last song we have. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. Make them swimmers. In 2. And 1, yogi, swim it out. 1 long line from your toes to your fingers. Keep kicking, keep moving. Remember to breathe. Be kind to your neck. Gaze is just slightly in front of you. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. Back to reverse crunches. In 2. And 1, reverse crunches. Lifting your head off the mat. Peeling your heart off slowly with control. Gorgeous. Good focus here. You're over halfway done, y'all. You got this Thursday. You're there for 4. You're there for 3. You have Supermans. In 2. And 1, yogi, Supermans. It's a lift and lower, a lift and lower. Squeeze your glutes to help lift that lower body. Let them help do the work. Always the option to just do the upper body or lower body. You're almost done. We got this here. You're here for 4. You're here for 3. You have swimmers. In 2, it's short, I promise. And 1, yogi, swim it out. Just 8. Just 7. Yes, you can. Just 6, unclench your jaw. And 5, remember to breathe. Just 4, just 3, nice long body stretch in 2, and 1. Whew. Thanks for indulging me, everyone. Sorry about all the technical difficulties. Great job hanging in there. Yogis, we're headed into some stretches. Stay on your stomach. We'll get into a nice quad stretch. We definitely did enough leg work here. Kick your right heel in towards your glute, and then capture the outside, the top of your foot here. You can lay your head down if it feels right, but press that heel in towards your glute. And if you're not feeling it in your quad, maybe lifting your knee slightly off of the mat until you do. And then yogis, slowly with control, release that foot down and swap it out. Opposite heel comes in towards your glute. Capture behind the top of your foot. Press your heel in towards your low back here, maybe lifting your knee slightly if you're not feeling it in your quad. Take a few full breaths there. And then yogi, slowly with control, release that foot down. We'll take a nice shoulder stretch for your arms. So extend that right arm out to a T, palm face down. Left hand comes down and plants next to your shoulder. And then slowly with control, push your weight, rock your weight over towards that extended arm. Take a few full breaths in whatever shape your body has made. Yogi, slowly with control, guide your body to center and extend your opposite arm. Take it on the other side. Left arm goes out to a T, and then slowly rock your weight on over towards that shoulder. Each shoulder might feel different or have different mobility. Just accept your body wherever it lands and take a couple breaths there. And yogis, whenever you're ready, slowly come back to center. Press on up to a seated position. Swing your legs around to either side. We'll take a nice seated forward fold. In here, envision elongating your low back just as much as your hamstring. So with your inhale, reach up overhead. And with your exhale, hinge forward any amount. And when you reach your edge, then let your head drop. Yogis, slowly with control, rise on up back to center and then lower all the way down onto your mats, onto your backs, one vertebra at a time. We'll take a nice supine half pigeon, just meaning on your back. So cross one ankle over a knee, and then option here to interlace behind your hamstring here, maybe bringing those legs towards your chest. Yogi, slowly, if you grab behind your leg, release that foot down, and then we'll take a spinal twist right here. So slowly rock that bent leg towards across your body here. A nice variation of a supine spinal twist. And then yogi, slowly with control, guide your body back to center, square your back and swap it out. Uncross your legs, bring that opposite ankle over your other knee. If it felt good to interlace behind your leg to bring it towards your chest, you can definitely do that here as well. Yogis, if you grabbed behind that leg, gently release that foot down to the ground. And then option here for that supine spinal twist, guiding your bent leg across towards the ground, twisting through your body. Yogis, whenever you're ready, you can slowly guide yourself back to center. Uncross your legs, square your back on the mat, and then maybe bring both knees into your chest. Wrap around your shins, give yourself a big hug. We haven't had enough of those this past year. Take a big inhale here and fill up with air. And then with your exhale, release, final Shavasana. Let your body take up as much space as you would like here on your mat. You worked hard for this restfulness. We'll be here a little over a minute, and I'll guide us out when it's time. Yogis, you can stay here as long as you'd like. That's the nice thing for sure about it being virtual. If you'd like to continue with the rest of your Thursday, invite some mindful movement into your body. Begin by deepening your breath, maybe wiggling your fingers and toes. Whenever you're ready, if you'd like, on an inhale, find a last long body stretch. And with your exhale, Fetalasana, fetal position, either side of your body, using that bicep as a pillow. Yogis, we tend to be so hard on ourselves for many things, especially for some reason when we work out. We live in a society that glorifies busyness, and I think we feel like we only deserve this space and time for ourselves once we've done enough. Know that you inherently deserve this time for yourself in whatever way that self-care shows up. There are so many things working against us in this world. We do not need to be one of them. Your body is your friend. Be kind to it. Yogis, whenever you're ready, you can slowly press on up to a seated position facing forward. Eyes can stay closed or maybe softened, and call to mind whatever brought you to your mat today. Hopefully it was a message of support rather than being hard on ourselves. But yogis, if you would like to join us in bringing your hands to heart center and thumbs to your hearts to symbolize kindness in all of our actions, lifting your thumbs to your lips to symbolize kindness in all of our words, and thumbs to third eye center for kindness in our thoughts, always most especially towards ourselves. Bowing forward, we seal in our practice today. Namaste.